Well, another Soul About challenge, another day. Okay, did shout out original video limerick after 8, skills on a bite, beatboxing, still putting together some stuff for excursion, and tell a story about myself. Which I'm not going to try to pronounce that word, but anyway. Okay, what would you like to know? Is it even supposed to be a story about me, or just a story? I don't know. Could do both, I suppose. But anyway, story about me. Well, where to start? Where do I ride while I'm telling this story? How long should this video be? Other than a minimum of 3 minutes. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I kind of grew up in a little bit on the countryside when I was raised, and I found out that in most of my life that my father was, neglectful. Didn't quite care what I did. And of course, like every American child, I had behavioral issues. Which the doctors were more than pleased to shove every pill known down my throat in order to make money. Just to find out later in life that what I have cannot be cured with medication. It's just something you deal with, you live with it. And that pertains to me just being antisocial in certain ways, ill-adapt to socialize, just basically the clinical diagnosis of a misfit. So, yeah, I was a geek in the school. Ooh, Pizza Hut. Distraction! How do I get over there? I just want pizza. Oh, if I had my street trail, I could just get right through there. Anyway, so yeah, I lived in with a family that was kind of parted in ways, and my mother and my So anyway, back on the topic of, I guess, my story. This is what I'm going to be telling. I was in schools all the time, getting fights all the time. When I was really young, starting out like 5, I was probably expelled from every school I could possibly imagine. And mostly because I was not social. Imagine growing up in school and not being able to socialize with people correctly. And then, not being the person that just kind of rolls over when a bully starts tormenting a weird kid. So that automatically put me in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in the group of misfits, which I banded together with the group of misfits, and, I was in You know, that would be like the nerds, the geeks, and everything else. And I became basically what they were proclaiming I was, which was partially true. I was a misfit. So at a young age, my grandpa owns an appliance store still. And the kind of in daycare with my grandpa whenever I was really young, which kind of taught me a good bit about electronics. And I always remember going to his shop and spending time with him. So that was where I got my technical background, and I'm just going to follow this truck. So I had a pretty extensive technical background from when I was young. I started fixing VCRs when I was about 5 years old. I was always taking things apart and putting them together again, and you know, it was basically who I was. I was a tinkerer. Always been a tinkerer for a good majority of my life. Still always will be. So there's that. In fact, I was one of those people that was the Vulcan type, the so logical of thinkers that I would not consider on getting on a motorcycle because they were statistically a death machine. Well, I had an abusive stepdad that, you know, basically abused me in almost every imaginable way. And I was working at Walmart at the time. So I had the stress of working inventory management at Walmart, and I had the stress of him down my throat all the time, and I was getting older and stronger and a little smarter and less tolerant of him. So onslaught of depression and anger and rage is building up into a nice little ball of doom that I eventually just kind of broke down and just was like, you know what, rebel time. I bought a motorcycle. I bought a motorcycle from a state highway patrol person. He knew I don't have my endorsement permit or anything. I didn't even know how to ride a motorcycle. Just like the video. Ride a motorcycle. But anyway, I bought it off him for like $1,300. It's only worth about $1,000. Yeah, gypped a little bit. And he's, yeah, I don't complain about too much. It was a nice bike. It was a nice beginning. It caused me to be de-stressed. Family way disapproved of it. When I get rid of it, it's like, well, you can't really get rid of a vehicle you just bought. Which around that time was also coincidentally the same time I bought a gun for, I guess, personal protection. But they didn't know about that until later. So yeah, bought this bike. I started trying to figure out how to ride it. I thought the bike was broken because I didn't know that there was a run kill switch right here, the little red button, and I was trying to turn it over with the kill switch off. And you know, I couldn't figure out the shifting because I was just pushing it down, figuring that, you know, the toggle was just down only. Almost busted the shifter by doing that until I figured out it was toggle up, toggle down, and I was terrified. But it's part of the terror that, you know, kind of soothed me. I found out that part of the liking of motorcycles is not only being free, but being, well, scared almost to death that you're going to die. You know, statistically, if I smack into a car right now, I probably have at least broken bones. Going about 30. And I haven't actually had a full-on wreck, but I have been going with speed around the corner on a dark road that had lawn trimmings everywhere, going 30 and slip and slide right on a bank. Anyway, flash forward a little later in life. I started riding a motorcycle. I got you know, pretty good at it, and ended up eventually buying another motorcycle, which was my Ninja. At this time, I was a computer technician working for a bike shop. So it was a good trade-off. They were idiots when it comes to computers. I was idiots when it comes to mechanical for fixing bikes. So you fix my stuff, I fix your stuff. and it worked pretty well. I actually bought my Ninja for a little under $1,000. My first Ninja, F-15, second generation, I want to say, maybe third. But yeah, before they started looking all stealth bomber-like, and I liked it. It was a nice little boost. I mean, it wasn't extremely fast, but it was to the ground, and I was like, oh, it's like, wah! And it was a re-rev engine, so it was awesome. I still love it. But this thing has more power, more speed, which is great, but still off topic. And they disapproved, and I was like, I don't care. And it was like that for a while. Fast forward, and one of the main factories in my county shut down, so everyone lost their job. The county went from being a city state to a city county, had a big city in it, and lost its city status and had to change it to a village. It was that bad. This company was employing Mills Pride, aka Masco, was employing at least 1/3 of the county. The nuclear power plant was the other 1/3. So they still stay in business. And so yeah, that caused a Great Depression in the little county. No one could find a job. Everyone was cutthroat to find a job. And yeah, I basically just... Oh, ears. So yeah, there was that for a while. Anyway, I get down to my last couple $100, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go over and just find a job out of state. So I did. I just was like, pick up, left. I was like, wow. I took the last $300 and whatever I could fit in my little car, and just left. I left all my stuff at my family's house, and they kind of disapproved of me just picking up and being spontaneous, because I'm the calculating type. I'm the type that will typically think before I leave and go methodical on it. It's kind of, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sure I have this and this as a backup plan. I had no backup plan. I had $300 and was going to a big city I've never been into before, trying to make a living, a job that I may or may not get. So yeah, I was royally screwed if something went wrong. And I actually landed a job working as a level 2 support technician, fiber technician actually, for a company that they trained me to work for. Ironically, didn't have any services in my state, or I'd have to go 500 miles to the coastline to work on the equipment on where I was trained to. But of course, it was over the phone, text support, and everything was like virtual machined, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I did that job for a little over a year or so, and that opened the door for another job, and then that opened the door to the job I have now, which I'm happy with. So fast forward a couple years, and motor vlogging. So that is my very long, short story of my life. I guess my story up to current. Also, duh, I'm a furry. I was a furry when I was really young. That's a completely side story. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. Don't believe all the extremities that they're telling you about it. It is basically anyone that likes anthropomorphs. Just a fan of them. But I'm the only other motor vlogger I know of in Ohio, and I am... Well, the furries are a lot more common, believe it or not. A whole lot more common. I can go to a convention in the springtime and find a whole mess of them. Like hundreds. Or, yeah, probably a couple hundred. So, yeah, there's that. And, there's my little... And that's basically my story, Why won't you work, you stupid lights? Why?
2 hours later.
Work. But anyway, and until next time, Shadow out. Solar Bear. Solar Bear. Solar bear. Solar bear. Solar bear. Solar bear.
I know good English. I good count. I'm kidding. I just, yeah.
Solar bear.
Gotta get that going.
I have the greatest friends in the whole wide world.